challenges faced by manufacturers?
Yeah, so with that, we have limited visibility into customer communities, commitments, and compliance. So to look at it is, we have worked with a lot of customers, and that includes manufacturing industry customers as well. And what we have seen is they typically tend to be in a situation when we were doing discovery, when we were kind of understanding what their business process is and what are they doing. They were in a place where they did not had a complete understanding of this particular partner, this particular customer he has kind of committed, we will be giving them 5,000 products on a yearly basis. And that too in a manner with this particular price, and, with the compliance of whenever they place an order for a particular item, we would be delivering it to them in 60 days. But they are not able to meet that. Their sales guys, their support guys do not have the visibility of these are all the contracts, these are all the things that we need to take care of. They're not aware about it. They have to open up a document, then identify, okay, we need to do this. Okay, we need to do that. So that is something which is kind of creates a disconnected place where the experience of the customers become very bad. So this is the place where Manufacturing Cloud comes into the picture, and it actually helps them with a unified customer agreement management, where you have a complete understanding of the customer, the sales agreement that we have with them in place. What was the agreement fulfillment for the past 3 months or for the past 3 terms as compared to where we are at? What are their next requirements are? What are their forecasts are? Not only what we had committed, what they had planned, but what our forecast is based on the forecasting model that we have implemented internally. We can configure forecasting models internally. I will be discussing them in a while. So that is something possible with Salesforce Manufacturing Cloud. It definitely helps them deliver onto the commitments that they have made and be compliant to the sales agreement that they have kind of signed with.
Yeah.
Then we have lack of flexibility in sales planning. So what happens is we have kind of said we would be taking let's say 100,000 items from you on a yearly basis. But in the middle of the year, the customer is identifying and seeing we would be needing much more. We would be needing 300,000 more products from you because we have seen a growing demand into it. So what will happen is if they come back to the manufacturer, if they don't have a platform which can handle that, they would have to kind of close that contract, create a new one, and then handle that. Or even if they have to make amends, there will be 2 documents to it, this is the original one, this is the new one, and they have to kind of see what are now the compliances, what are the delivery schedules now is. With solution like Manufacturing Cloud, you don't have to worry about it. Dynamic sales agreements take care of that for you. You just have to kind of come in, configure, they had said this, but now they're expecting this. So the 300,000 would be distributed in a manner. In the month of July, we would be giving them 60,000. In the month of August, we would be giving them 50,000. So they can configure that now.
But then I have a question, Vijay. Does it take care of the history as well?
Yeah.
We have done the changes. So does it take care of the previous order, the agreement that we have had with
them? We have a complete history of the previous orders as previous sales agreements as well, what it was earlier, what it is now. So you have a complete audit as well, complete history of the.
Because that is very important.
That is very important.
Yeah. We cannot lose the history data.
That is possible. Then we have inefficient inventory management. So if the inventory is not linked to the place from where you are taking in orders, then what will end up happening is you have 2 customers. A mess. You're right. Yeah. You have 2 customers. Let's call it Volkswagen and let's call it Skoda. Let's call Volkswagen. Let's take Tesla. Volkswagen and Skoda from the same brand. So I don't want to do that. Let's take an example of Tesla and Volkswagen. They are coming and saying we need this particular chip from you, and you say we will provide it to you. But one sales guy said we will provide it to you, but he did not had the data where he could have linked it to the inventory available. So he said it yes. Now the Tesla AEs also have said yes, but now you are in the place where we have to deliver it within the 15 days period. But we have made the same commitments to 2 different customers. So that would be a mess, as you mentioned. Yeah. So we need efficient, inventory management, and that too, which is, be able to access within the system itself only when we are taking in the order, when we are accepting it. So we should be able to do that. Then we have manual updates of product quantities. So with Manufacturing Cloud, you would have a situation like not with manufacturing cloud, but in the manufacturing industry, you would have a situation where you have order coming in from different places, from the portal itself only, from the system itself only, and from the warehouse itself only. You want all of that data to come in and sit in a place where you have a clear picture what our inventory is, what our demands are, and everything. So
And I think real-time data is very important.
yeah,
Like if we are able to see that data real time, then we'll be able to make our decisions better. I
exactly.
think then only we'll be able to make our decisions.
Yeah. So that is something possible with manufacturing cloud. Then we have difficulty in setting and assigning targets. So yeah, when you are working in manufacturing industry, you have big customers, and with big customers, you have big targets as well that you have to achieve. So it's not going to be a target like this particular individual needs to get me this particular amount. It would be on a account basis. Like from this particular account, we are expecting a revenue of $250,000. So that is something you would be able to set with manufacturing cloud, and in that itself only there would be different sectors, different regions. So for example, like Samsung is the provider for chip for Apple for certain of the things. So you cannot expect Samsung will have just one AE for the complete, there would be multiple.
Yeah.
So we will have the similar way where we have a big target from the Apple itself only, like we have a target of $500,000 from them. And within that, you would be able to kind of assign it, like Alex have a $50,000 target for the Apple US region. We have a, let's say $30,000 target for Henry in the Apple London region. Things like that, we would be able to do that. We can manage that. We can track that. We can report on that. So that definitely gives us a better understanding of how we are doing business, what's our impact is going to be, how we will be able to take care of it. That is something possible. Then we have fragmented forecasting mechanisms. So as I mentioned, we have a very detailed forecasting mechanism where we can do forecasting based on a lot of things, and we can configure it from it. It is not like that. It's something configured for the whole organization level. Like you have created a forecasting model for the complete manufacturing business that you own. No, it's not going to be like that. You can configure it like that, but you can also configure it for business to business. For Apple, it will be different. For Huawei, it would be different. For OnePlus, it would be different. So you can do all of that. You can manage that with fragmented forecasting mechanisms. You don't have to worry about it. You can create a forecasting mechanism which is unique to each of the business, which can take in the data about the previous history, the trend of the market, any additional information that you are capturing, any market analysis that you have done. It can take all of that data into Salesforce, and then it can actually run its forecasting based on your defined logics, based on your defined scenarios, and it can give you a forecast. Now again, this forecasting is powered by Salesforce industry capability, data processing engine, integration procedures, and Omni Studio, decision mat, all of that. We can leverage that and we can utilize it. We can bring in data from data cloud and all of that. So the possibilities are endless. And once we have that, we can have a very unique, very curated forecasting model. I will be discussing them in next slides as well. Then we have difficulty in managing warranty and information. So as we talked a little bit earlier, we need to have a warranty and information claims management system in place. Manufacturing companies who are using legacy systems doesn't have that. So they are in a place where they are not able to track all of that. And the customer saying, I bought this from you, it is giving me this issue, help me resolve it. Now the time would be a lot where you have to identify which was the asset it was. And then
you do such thing, and then you lose customers, and you cannot afford to do that.
Yeah, and then you kind of wasting a lot of your time, and then you are not able to manage and everything. Then you are not able to offer additional warranty on top of it because you are already so occupied in the warranty that you are providing. You are not able to provide additional warranty, additional on top of the things that you can provide on top of it. So that is something not possible. With manufacturing cloud, we would be able to resolve it. Then we have complex demand planning for spare parts. So as I mentioned, we have forecasting. So we have demand forecasting as well, and it can also leverage all of those capabilities from Salesforce Industries, as I just talked about, and we can do forecasting about that as well. What are the demands going to be? What particular parts are going to be in demand? from which particular organizations, we can identify that so that we can ramp up our production lines and work accordingly.
If you can do such thing, it will like change the picture like completely for any manufacturer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he can have an edge from its competitor by doing such things.